Hello, I'm Austin Anderson, and this is Homeowner Hacks with Burton. Today I'm having Steve with Burton come over and show me something that every homeowner should know: how to turn off your water valve in case of an emergency. So let's go figure out what lever I need to pull. All right, Steve, so this is it, and the main reason I wanted you to come out is because my friend, his basement flooded, and he had no idea what to do, and I realized that I have no idea what to do, especially with whatever's happening here with all the levers. It reminds me of like a submarine or something when they're pulling things.
You said your friend had an issue.
Yeah.
Did he not know how to turn off the water?
Right, yeah, that's correct.
Right.
And I think it was just also kind of confused about all the levers and what they do, what they're used for.
Well, we'll go over a basic here, but for the homeowner, this is going to be your main two ways to turn off the water to the house. And you're wondering, well, why do I have two different shutoffs? You have one after the meter and one before the meter, which is code. You got to have that. This is going to be your main way to shut off the water to the house. If you're ever looking for the way to turn off the water to the house, find this pipe in your house. It's usually going to be in the basement, all right, and it's going to be near the front of the house, closest to the street, because that's the shortest distance from the street to the house. You can turn this off here. That immediately turns off the water to the whole entire house, all right. You can do it here. Another way to do it would be to turn this off. As you can see, it's a straight shot to that shutoff, and this too will turn off the water to the house. And it's just double protection in case this were to happen. If this valve was leaking and you need to have a replacement of this valve, all right, there is another way to turn off the water. It's out in your front yard. This pipe goes out to the street. There's a thing called a stop box. It's about 6-7 feet underground. There's a cap out there in the front yard. Sometimes it's on the surface, sometimes it's on the sidewalk, sometimes it's a foot underground. And so that's where you would need me if this is leaking. Get me out here so we can find that stop box. We can turn the water off to the house and we can replace this.
Right, and that's how they turn it off too if I don't pay my bill.
That's exactly how they turn off the water if you don't pay your bill. But the only people who have the key to turn that off out there is going to be MUD or an actual licensed journeyman plumber in the city of Omaha. Anyone else doesn't have that key.
So in what kind of circumstances would I need to run down here and turn this off?
Let's say you had a hose that burst behind a washing machine, a hose going to the toilet, or what we're experiencing right now, people, their pipes freeze and they burst. All right, then all of a sudden you got water coming out of the wall.
I mean, if I were to go out of town for 2 weeks, you know, I have grandparents and older generation than me that they turn their water off
right
before, if they're going to be gone for a couple weeks. Is that a good idea?
Very smart.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be gone for that long a time, you come down here and turn this water off to the whole entire house. Then I want you to go up to the top floor of the house. I want you to open up some faucets, and no water's going to come out because you turn the water off. Then I want you to go to the bottom floor of the house and turn on another faucet. Now all that water in the house is going to come down to the bottom, and you're just not going to have any water in the house at that. That's good, because if something were to break or if there's a burst or something, no water's going to flood your house. You're not going to come home to an indoor swimming pool. So it's very smart to do that, to turn it off. In the winter, what some customers will do is they'll do the same thing. They'll turn the water off, drain the entire house down and stuff. You just got to remember, when you come back from vacation, you have to fill the house back up with water.
So it's good to turn it on and then maybe open the faucets?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you turn it on, you're going to hear a lot of hissing and air come out of the faucets. That's normal. You just let that keep going until nothing but water comes out. And then some customers, they will also, they'll turn their water heater down to vacation. There's a setting on your water heater for vacation. Keeps the pilot lit, but it doesn't make any hot water while you're gone, so it saves on your gas. So, I mean, just things to think about when you're going for an extended period of time. For a day, I probably wouldn't worry too much about it, but if I'm going to be gone for 2 or 3 days or longer, I'm definitely going to drain the house down. I do that every time at my own house.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay, that's great to know.
right.
I'm glad Steve came out and showed me what to do in the case of an emergency with the water. Now I know how to shut it off. So that's the first thing I'll do. And the second thing I'll do is I'll just call Bert.